When we first got the call that this project was approved, I was extremely excited. We had a lot of fun last year. There were obviously a large amount of challenges, but this project in and of itself, just as a SEMA project, it's that different, not everyday run-of-the-mill project. You get to run a little more free and ad-lib kind of what you're doing as the project goes. There's obviously that overall base schedule and base concept that you have to follow, but how you get there, you have a little bit more freedom. You don't have to follow all of the design standards. You're not so tied in to make the project work and still have a functional vehicle and provide that to the customer at the end of the day.
We have faced a lot of challenges. Andrew and I back and forth almost hourly every day trying to solve one issue or another. The function of the bed, because Land Cruiser has a lift gate, so we had to convert the lower portion of the lift gate into a functioning tailgate, which was its own project. And then how do we fabricate a mid-gate that would work and make sense with the existing rear seats in the Land Cruiser? We were able to come up with some really clever solutions to get it all to come together and make use of space that seemed like no man's land at the time when we began the concept.
If you look from the rear of the vehicle, we've got the new header in place, and we do have to do some massaging of the sheet metal for straightness. The team has also closed out the inner panel to complete this, so these doors are very close to being ready to go over to the paint shop. So this week we've been working on the final assembly of the vehicle. One of the main components is the wiring of all of the new accessories. So we've integrated that wiring into the vehicle IP or the instrument panel itself. We've got some additional production switches that will activate and control the fog lights, the light bar, plus the rear lights as well. So the team is working to build that final wiring harness, wire all of those lights into the existing production so it has a very factory look.
So the vehicle obviously has a ton of recreational purpose that you could use it for. So we came up with the acronym ROX, or ROX, which stands for Recreation Open Experience. The open cabin, the feeling that you're connected to your surroundings while you're having adventures off-road in the wilderness.
Everyone's gotten so used to being digitally connected all over the place. So you talk in your car, you listen to your radio and music, podcasts, all this stuff. But if you've ever been in a convertible, you know the one thing you can't do is any of that. So you only can interact with the environment around you. And that is still the link to a world that almost doesn't exist anymore. And I believe when you're going off-roading and you're going off the grid, the last thing you want are all those things you're used to. And I think if this vehicle were available, that connection to unfortunate time that doesn't exist anymore would be amazing.
We work closely with our interior team and our color and material group as we begin the development so that the paint of the exterior would harmonize well with the interior finishes and the very cool textures and areas of stitching that they were able to achieve on the interior.
We put a lot of thought into how it's going to come across. What is the message? What is it trying to capture? Our CMF team basically makes sure to take care of all the exterior colors as well as the materials on the inside. So it spans from anything from just colors to textures and feel and innovating new materials.
The two-tone component comes from the production Land Cruiser. The spring green is also a modern, upgraded take on the vintage spring green color, so it has a more modern taste and feel, but it really pops against the black. We have the gloss black of the roof, we have the textured black of the flares, the rocker, the rugged bumpers that are on both ends of the vehicle.
We've got about 23 parts total right now and counting on this vehicle. You know, this piece that runs from the front all the way to the tailgate, that's what they're calling the sports bar. It's about 9 feet long in real life.
So currently the paint team is going through the final polish on a lot of the shell parts. So the hood, the doors, the tailgate, those components are going to be installed last on the vehicle, so we prioritize the body itself. We're coming down to the wire. Team's working really hard to get as much as they can done while waiting on those last minute components.
The minute you cut half the vehicle away, you end up with a whole basket of adventures to solve. So it has been a lot of pressure the last couple weeks in particular.
SEMA is all about wild and go out there, do anything kind of builds. But I think this build specifically is a really nice combination of fantasy and potential reality.
Overall, the proportion of the vehicle is really cool. Not only is it lifted, not only does it have giant tires on it, giant flares, when you park it next to a production vehicle, it is so different, it's so big, and it's so cool.